I'm Dennis Wade, and I'm at the Storage Vision's 2013 conference in Las Vegas, associated with the CES show, which is the largest consumer show. And we've had a two-day panel seminar here looking at various aspects of primarily storage, but for the world, for entertainment, for defense, for corporate, that sort of thing. With me right now I have Christy King. And Christy King's with UFC, and UFC is kind of a company that oversees asset management and processing capacities, performance requirements for a number of other companies, but they're kind of specialized in optimizing your needs and your problems, solving your problems. And with that, I'm going to let Christy talk a little bit about the company, the focus of the company, where their strengths are, and where they see the future. Christy?
Let me back up a little bit and clarify some of that. So my role is actually most of what you just pointed out. I look at technology solutions that are coming in for the Ultimate Fighting Championship and use several vendors, everything from consultants to technology people, and as a group we'll decide which materials to bring in to help solve the UFC's technology issues. So yes. Yes, correct. So the UFC is a huge fight promotion company, and it's exploding worldwide. I've been with them for 7 years, and we've gone from about 50 people at the company when I started to a little over 260 people today, and our vendor base is much, much bigger than that. We actually employ the services in the technology space of hundreds of people because we just didn't want to become a technology solution company. We just wanted to be a fight promoter. So my job has really been to evaluate all kinds of different technologies, from digital asset management systems for production, live streaming, VOD processes, delivery processes, console delivery. Media storage is a huge issue for us, both in the nearline, offline, deep storage. You know, how do we keep this stuff with integrity and the statistical information, metadata, all of those issues we deal with. We have a huge photography library. We have to distribute those things worldwide. We have an art library. We're working on an asset management system for our art department for the first time. And one of the things that's been a really interesting challenge for me in the last few years is we have zero legacy equipment. I'm actually buying the first generation of what will become someone's legacy problem in 2, 3, 4 years. So,
can you explain to us what the name UFC stands for?
So the UFC stands for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. They're a local Las Vegas fight promotion company, but we run events everywhere in the world. So we're a broadcast, pay-per-view broadcast content provider, and those shows are carried everywhere in the world. We're in 100 and I believe over 130 countries live, and further than that is a VOD option. So yeah, that's what we do.
With the expansion of that industry, the entertainment industry, and the fight and event industry, where do you see this going in a few years in terms of your needs to go in and solve some of these problems? Are the problems getting more complex and growing in terms of numbers?
Yes, absolutely. And storage is a huge issue for us. Video and audio and imagery, still imagery, are giant hogs of space. So our headquarters is here in Las Vegas, and it's, well over 100 degrees for 4 months of the year. The last thing I want to do is have a bunch of servers here that I have to cool in the power structures and all that. So I'm watching this industry very, very closely because I would like to see some really interesting solutions come out that are sort of a hybrid of off-site storage, cloud, if you will. I don't care if they're private clouds or public clouds or whatever, but I'm really interested in the idea of having a certain amount of storage that's nearline, that kind of makes sense for the immediate sorts of things, and as bandwidth becomes, I hope, more and more usable to push those kinds of materials, that fatness through the pipes, then I want to be able to store much, much more of the materials that I need anywhere. I don't care where they are. I don't want to repeat them. I don't want to have copies everywhere, but I need to back them up. And I'd also like to really have storage people look at metadata more carefully. So, for example, there's starting to be some processes where people can look at how long it's been since someone looked at a piece of footage. So if you have a 30,000 hour library, probably 80% of it gets used very, very rarely. So if I can make decisions and use some technologies like partial file restore and some of those kinds of really neat opportunities to measure what's being used and what isn't, take the parts of materials that are not used often and put them somewhere where it's much less expensive, much less resource intensive, those are the kinds of solutions that long term are going to help me. Absolutely.
Christy, thank you. I think that answers the questions we have, unless you'd like to add anything, but thank you very much. Okay, good luck.
Appreciate it.